do you give up so quick? You can't give up so quick.
Did you ever wonder why the chickens crossed the road?
Center has been called a gem, a hidden gem in this community.
Because they wanted to make something out of themselves. They wanted to be somebody in life.
All you care about is whether I got an A or not whether I'm getting the subject or not. While my weather at home is like a thunderstorm and you're blind to that.
But I have a choice. There's a place I can go. Corner of 61st Street, 22nd Avenue. There's a place. There's a haven. All I have to do is make it there.
So my major design, when I came to the program, finally get an opportunity to be the director, I decided to design a program where kids could acquire the skills that they need, teach them all the fundamentals in any art form, dance, drama, instrumental music, vocal music, visual arts, fashion arts, whatever it is. I want to make sure that they got the essential information. So if they decided to go to college, if they decided to actualize themselves professionally, they would have the opportunity to have the foundation to do so.
We have a vast number of kids who come here from different ages, from the ages of 5 through 11 and up. And these kids come from all different parts of Miami-Dade County. These kids they're special. You know, one of the things about the arts is when kids come in, they're wide-eyed, they're bushy-tailed, they're really open to a lot of things. And of course, kids are they're gonna always say like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to dance, I don't want to paint, I don't want to sing, not knowing what they're getting into because their parents really want them in the arts, and then all of a sudden they're just transformed into these incredible performers.
We have those who really don't have that much and they need that extra love and attention. And then we have those who are really at the point of true leadership. We can always find new ways to put them in the leader role. So for those who need that extra love and attention, what we try to do is make sure that we show them that we're here for them. So when I have a student that might act out a little bit more in the classroom, instead of really jumping on them or trying to pull out all the negative, I try to see exactly what they're really great at.
A child who came in for the first day who did not know how to tap dance leaves here tap dancing like nobody's business. A child who comes in, never held a paintbrush, is now painting his own pieces. A child who came in with the inspiration to sing a song is now performing a whole song in front of audiences.
Our program is different from a lot of programs because a lot of programs say, well, we're going to take kids off the street and they do a project with the child. And that's a good project and it's a good experience for the child. We take the children off the streets and we say that we want to develop that child, develop their skills, develop their talent. So even when they leave us and when they're not with us, they can still function to higher and higher levels as they progress and they expand. So that's the essential difference. We want to get inside that child and make a difference in that child. We're not just trying to do something on the outside of them, a project. We're just not trying to entertain them. We're trying to instill skills in them. And we're trying to let them know their history, let them know who they are as a person.
I chose to be a part of the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center because what they do here is so close to values that I've had over the years. I went to Howard University, which is a traditionally Black university, and I learned so much about culture, history, and have always had a real desire, a need to give back to my community.
I am a former student of the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center. I started 20 years ago as a 7-year-old. My mom brought me here one summer and I just never left. Whenever I felt, or I doubted myself, they were always there like, come on, Jasmine, you can do it. Miss Roberts, I can remember distinctly, I thought I was more of a drama person, but she told me, no, you could sing. You should be in musical theater. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I kind of like just doing drama. She's like, no, Jazz, you sing.
I mean, they're beautiful, they're inquisitive, they're fun. Some of them come from backgrounds where they have a lot less than other folks do, and some of them come from backgrounds where, they're well nurtured and well exposed. So they come from a wide range of family backgrounds.
We always say that the center is a jewel for this particular community. It's a jewel just sitting in this rough, blighted area that house all of these incredible things in the arts that we can offer to the world.
The students inspire me every day. One of the things that inspired me is because I grew up in this neighborhood where this facility resides. The African Heritage Cultural Arts Center for a number of years was in a community that's considered the third largest impoverished area in a major city. And I know the struggles that the students and the children have in this community because I was a part of that struggle. I knew what the deficiencies and those kind of things. So I wanted to have something that could help lift them up to a different level.
It offers a safe space for young people to come to after school and to be exposed and introduced to the arts and grow from there.
So we had these guys, they come over here, you know, they might want to scratch a car, do something, you know, some prank or something. And so one day we just kind of stopped them and said, hey, come here. Hey, what you want? What you want? You know, and they kind of balled up their fists. Said, I just want y'all to come inside. I want y'all to show what's going on here because y'all don't know. And so we walked them around like we was and talked to them as if we was talking to somebody who was writing a grant. Tell them about the program, the things that we had done, that we have achieved, and tell them that, you know, this is in your community. This is your facility. It's built here for you. You know, don't come and try to tear it up. Get involved with it. See where it take you.
Well, if you walk outside our building, you'll see that young man that's now securing this building. He's an employee here. So going from scratching up the same cars within the same building, he's turned around his whole life, and he's walking around and telling different people within the community where he grew up in, hey, that place over there, if it wasn't for the center, man, I don't know where I'd be right now.
We walked by and we see Mr. Davis, Mr. Coates, and another young lady, and we were like, okay, we want to see what it's about. Yeah. And since we came in, the minute we came in, it was like a different vibe. And it's kind of crazy because it's right across the street. So full of violence over there that you come over here, it's like
cool and calm.
Yeah, you know, it's love, you feel me? So with everything that I've been through, they showed me the type of love that I wasn't getting, you know, from over there at home. So therefore, I kind of gravitated to the people over here, you know, and it's been my home ever since.
There's no limitation predicated on the skin color of their skin.
This is what the center is all about. Do we teach the arts? Yes, we do. But we also want to make sure that they have the understanding that this is just a small inkling that can help them in so many areas of their lives, because not all of them will become artists.
And so as many activities that we can have outside and as many things that we've done, you know, students have gone on to win Academy Awards. People still many times have a problem understanding what's really happening in these walls and why there's no reflection on the outside of the wall of all the wonderful things that's going on inside.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Come on. La La Land.
There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
Moonlight, Best Picture.
You know, all of us here was elated, ecstatic, overjoyed. And the most important thing about that is what it says about the training here. And we can't sing that song too much because it's an invitation to others to come and do likewise or even better. You know, they have no limitations.
I can't help but remember the story, you know, that Terrell, Alvin McCraney, who was introduced to the arts here and went on to receive an Academy Award for Best Screenplay for the Best Picture of the year, Moonlight.
Terrell A. McCraney was a little kid that grew up in an impoverished area who had some parents, some difficulty with his mother particularly, and he was embraced in this facility even though he was struggling in his own community. You know, he was beaten up and chased and just mistreated.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Terrell Alvin McCraney and the first win for Barry Jenkins, who's also nominated this year for directing Moonlight.
I just want to echo everything you just said and all those thanks, but I also want to say thank God for my mother, who proved to me through her struggles and the struggles that Naomi Harris portrayed for all of you, that we can really be here and be somebody. Two boys from Liberty City up here on this stage representing 305. This goes out to all those black and brown boys and girls and non-gender conforming who don't see themselves. We're trying to show you, you and us. So thank you, this is for you.
And the story he tells is, I mean, that literally he would run here after school, running away from bullies, into this space because it was safe for him.
Glad to be a part of a work of art for a story like Moonlight to come from the inner city, from a place where they don't shine too much light. It was a beautiful story and it was depicted well, thanks to Barry and Terrell and everybody who was a part of it. So I'm glad the city and the whole world is just receiving it well. And if there could be other Moonlights or wherever else in the world, just voices that need to be told and stories that need to be told in film, I'm thankful for it.
Because I think they probably won more awards than like any film in the past. No, Bigly won every award ever in the history of the world. It is just, it is just a testament that good work will always be rewarded. Nobody could have told them you were going to win an Oscar. And you will be cemented in all time because Bonnie and Clyde messed up.
The first time I came here, I was not, for sure. And and again, it's a place that I continue to return to as many times as possible. That's one thing about African heritage, is that no one sort of says, well, you're in art, you're in visual art, so that's what you do. Everybody has to sing, dance, and act at some point. And most continue doing all of the above as much as possible. And so with that in mind, and with the great direction of the faculty that's here now, under Mr. Davis, they've continued allowing students to engage in that.
My own son, Marshall Davis Jr., who was in the Broadway show Noise Funk and just recently received a Tony nomination for Shuffle Along as a choreographer.
When you're only pal, steals away your gal, and you think of the river, then you're getting those Broadway blues.
Robert Battle, who is the artistic director of Alvin Ailey.
Imagination and curiosity that you have is nurtured. That somebody says that it's not only okay that you have dreams and images for yourself, but we're going to actually tell you that there's value in that. There's value in your imagination. That was nurtured here. And so that has been my passport to the world. So I take this with me wherever I go. And surely I would not be where I am if I hadn't gotten that foundation from here, from Liberty City, That came from here.
Bianca Bruton, who dances with Beyonce and Janet Jackson.
Don't stop, put it on the ground, break that bounce, voodoo brown, one leg go without no shame, sugar and boy, we all the time. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, do 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 it to the ground.
Sharif Clayton, Grammy-nominated jazz trumpeter.
Sharif Clayton comes to mind. He's a jazz trumpeter. Actually, a neighbor. He grew up rehearsing in my bedroom window, and I was like, oh my God, I'll be so glad when this kid learns to play.
I'm a trumpeter, composer, band leader, and entertainer.
But yeah, he studied with Wynton Marsalis and Arturo Sandoval and performed with Stevie Wonder.
Yes, I have another son who's a stand-up comedian. His name is Marcellus Alexander Davis, but he called himself Cello. And he's been on stage with some of the top-notch black comedians in Dade County. He's also was on BET, and he's living his dream. This young man is just going around, living his whole life, telling jokes. So Cello came here, he got into our program where we had stand-up comedy and drama and magic, and that was his forte. He also played an instrument. He can also tap dance. He's probably the most diverse, talented child that I have, but he's black comedy, so that's what he does, you know. So yeah, my family has really benefited. I brought all my kids here. Yeah, all of them. It wasn't an option, you coming.
People always say, oh, you can never do anything. Oh, those kids there are just, those kids. Well, those kids are pretty great. And those kids just really need some extra guidance, some extra love, and a little extra push that say, hey, don't worry about what they say, now let's worry about what's in you. Where's the greatness within you? What do you see yourself at within the future? And then start pouring that within them so, hey, my dream came true at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know, I have a couple of things that are kind of testimonials for me. One was a young man that was here in our program, and he's a very good visual artist. He has some rough edges. Terrell was this young man who was in the community that was kind of this rough character. He said, Mr. Davis, I'm writing you, I'm in jail, and I know you're disappointed, but I just want to let you know, one of the things that's enabling me to keep my sanity is the arts. He said, you know, I'm drawing, painting, doing kind of things, using my skills, and this is calming me down to get through the situation. I'll be out soon, but I just want to let you know you did help me. So it was a negative, but it was also positive. I got another letter the same day from a guy by the name of Terrell McCraney. And Terrell's letter was kind of different, and these guys' names kind of rhymed. But Terrell said, Mr. Davis, I want to thank you. I just got a scholarship to Yale. And from that, Terrell has won all kind of awards and gotten all kind of national attention, and just recently got an Academy Award.
But to see this young man who I've known since he was maybe 7 or 8 years old on the stage, and to see him now to win an Oscar, and to see Terrell to take that particular time and to say, let me write this story that encompasses Miami, Florida, that encompasses my area, the area that I was running away from, the area that kids were bullying me in, the area that I ran to a center such as the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center for a safe haven to learn the arts, the one place that I can trust myself to be in where I felt safe because of the arts that I learned. To see this particular young man win that Oscar was phenomenal.
I don't know, I felt like he'd gone into my head and took pictures of my memories and spread them across the screen.
Wow.
And so now to have it out there in the world and to be, you know, it won a Best Picture.
Yeah.
You did that, brother.
It really did.
Sort of amazing.
So we have so many students, you know, that have really gone on to excel in the arts. You know, we're very proud of those and the ones that are able to go to New World, or Michael Crop, or Dash, we've gotten a scholarship in college, who's been in TV commercials, films, what have you. It's just a whole list of students that I think had they not used this as a platform, they would not have gotten to the place where they have been. He's a young man that we're very proud of. We know that even greater things is ahead of him. We appreciate all the positive comments that he make about us and about the training that we're doing. For the last 2 summers, he's taken about 13 young ladies and he's engaged them in the art of playwriting and acting. And his idea was to give black young ladies a voice through the arts. And that's what he's done.
I came to Terrell's program because in middle school once we had a workshop with him at his actual class at UM. And I didn't actually get to work with him because we were under pressure time, but like the way his demeanor and like how he reacted with all the other kids and the exercises we did together, it was really good. And when our teacher, Miss Idell, she actually told us, she was like, oh, you guys could be in a program with him, da-da-da. I was like, of course, you gotta jump, seize the moment, jump for the opportunity. And yeah, I'm here now, so. Why did you shoot? How can you go to sleep at night knowing your body count is more than 0? How are we gonna trust y'all? Your child killing us, but y'all supposed to be our uniformed heroes. Why did you shoot? How can people of color get watched when we go to the mall? And when one gets pulled over, it ends in one's death fall, but it's sure as hell like the man in blue, so really tell me, why did you shoot? Society's been dumbed down since Steve Jobs came into play. I've been trapped in this weird place for 9 months, but that's still better than today. I can't escape, our wounds will fade, it's been decades, what can I say? Tell the little kids who's too smart for their own good that it's gonna be okay. Cause everybody dies, it happens, it's just our fate. How about you mind the business, grab the wheel, and don't turn your hand no matter what the cops say, especially when you black in this place. Screaming all lives matter, man, what's really up? So dang closed-minded, don't let a bullet open you up. Black people, the only people asked to be civil, but we ain't starting nothing up. That's it. I got Emma out.
This is your time, I promise you. A piece that you write right now, 10 years from now, will have you in a whole other place.
I do believe that acting, singing, and dancing is a way that you can get your words out if you're not speaking. So with that whole situation, like even though I may be upset, I may be sad, I may be hurt, I can express all of those feelings through dancing, acting, and singing. How could he do this to me? My boyfriend is dead, and that's because of my father. The man I once loved with my whole heart, but now have, because every day that goes by knowing he killed the man I thought was gonna be the love of my life. It's been 3 years where I've been locked up in the memory of this repeated tragedy. What would you consider me? Unfair? Unfair because I love and miss my boyfriend so much, but I still don't want my dad to leave me for the rest of my life. It hurts me. It hurts me to choose between love and justice. It hurts me even more because I seen him do it, and I know he was wrong. He will always be wrong, but at the same time, he's still my father, and I'm still his little girl. At the end of the day, David still needs justice. So, do what is right. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right, but explain it. Explain it. Use even that to explain it. Like, look, I was made to do this. This is what I do, right? You see what I'm saying? What you like to do is you like to get up here and charm us, right? You like to show it. You're so charming. You're so good at what you do. You just charm your way through things. But when you need to connect to stuff, you back off, and you've got to stop doing that. You have an action. You know how to play it. I need you to play it.
I got into this program my 8th grade year. My teacher had told us about this camp, and I wanted to give it a try because I had nothing to do this summer. So I wanted to give this a try, and I've had a lot of really good experiences. I made like a lot of friends. My writing has gotten significantly better, and I feel like I've bettered myself as a person. Are my tears like rain to you? Do you collect them in jars and label them with things like pain while I cry? Do you stare at the tracks they make as they dry in your mind? Tell me I don't have a reason to cry. Or do you wipe them away as they fall? Tell me I'm too beautiful to cry. Would you cry with me, die with me? And I ask because along the way I've learned sometimes to stay alive, you've got to kill your mind.
Well, I attended this program last year. So this is actually my 2nd year. I came back because I learned so much my first year, and I learned so much without knowing I was learning. Like I wasn't aware of, I was learning things that I could use on my daily life, and you know, I used through high school, and it made my freshman year a lot more smoother than what it could have been. So I came back to learn new things and grow more as a person, and you know, make my craft stronger. But I could never ever speak to my counselor, and the day I did go speak to her about a problem, she sent me to an asylum where I have to see a psychiatrist that doesn't give up about my voice but gives an invoice for a paycheck.
We're gonna be overjoyed for a long time about having this experience with him and knowing that he's one of the students that have really succeeded. But I tell you the truth, we're proud of all of them.
Everybody knew who Terrell was, but because he's just this humble person and he just comes in and, you know, and sweats and, you know, he asks everybody how they're doing. He's very, very caring and thoughtful, and he doesn't bring this aura of I'm this person. He's just cool. Like one day he brought me a slice of banana bread because I said I was hungry, and I was just like, and that was the best banana bread I ever had in my life, I tell you. I don't know where he got it from, but it was amazing. So to experience that moment here, I could experience that in my own, in the confines of my own home and watch it on TV, but I was here, I was home, experienced this with all these people. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Like, I didn't go home that night. Really, I kind of went to sleep for like 2 hours and came back, and there was still reporters here. So it was amazing.
We do get more attention, I would say, than we did than before Moonlight. And we certainly owe a lot of that to Terrell because he intentionally would schedule interviews here. CBS Sunday Morning called him for an interview. He could have gone anywhere, but he would say, meet me at the Cultural Arts Center. The Guardian from London, biggest newspaper there, called him for an interview, and he said, meet me at the Cultural Arts Center. I mean, it just goes on, you know, the opportunities that came because Terrell deliberately invited them here because this place means that much to him. He wanted to be able to give back.
Being with the students and watching them learn in that moment and for them to not take that moment so precious. For example, I'm sure you've had a student who's done something amazing and then they want to recreate that every 5 minutes and you're like, let that go. That you did that, right? That happened. Now there will be another moment that you have to engage in fully, as fully as you did the moment before. And I think that, to me, has made me a good teacher because again, I don't teach how to create those moments again. I teach how to let those moments go. But it makes me a good teacher because in that moment I'm also still learning. I'm a student in that moment.
You know, I just wish that we could. You know, just make it even more accessible and bring in more youth who could really benefit from it, that there's more ways to accommodate them.
And hopefully one day, even a new facility that will be built to reflect the great work that has been accomplished here.
There's an old statement that says, it takes a village to raise a child. The African Heritage Cultural Arts Center is that village. It's that village where people can come in and say, I'm safe. It's that village where people can come in and say, I'm trying to find myself, so where can I go? It's that village that say, let's find a direction so that we can change the scope of what they say our village is, so then they can actually see what greatness lies within the village.
In one word, Mr. Davis, a trailblazer.
Visionary.
Wise.
Powerful.
So every day I come in inspired to see what child can I touch, what individual can I touch to help them to graft to themselves the skills they need so they have various opportunities in life to succeed, whether it's in the arts or just feeling better about themselves as a person, or having someone to look at them and say, hey, I care about you. I want you to do well. I want you to succeed, you know. In fact, you know, I love you. I don't care who you are, what you are, where you are, what you have been doing. I know that love can take you and make you better.